Once upon a time, I started telling my terrible dating stories on the internet.
And I said, girl, this needs to be a podcast.
And I said, okay, but how do I do that?
And I said, don't worry, I got you.
And I'm like, okay, what are we going to call it?
I know, it's Rebrand pending.
Okay. Today we're talking about marriage and breakups. Kristen is married. I used to be married, and I'm now dating for the first time in my entire life.
How is that dating?
What, dating?
Yeah, post marriage and like older, because obviously it's so much different now than when you were dating before.
Okay, so fun fact, didn't really date before. So people find this hard to believe, so like just stay with me here. But like in high school, like I don't know what it is. My sister-in-law says it's because I'm intimidating. I don't think I'm intimidating at all, but she's like that, like, Hazel, come on, you have to know this about yourself. I'm like, no, I do not. Like only one time ever did someone, and it was like in the middle of a volleyball game, and I was like okay, it was like this weekend sports event in high school, okay? And like, so if you were on the committee, then you got to be like the leader of your group. So I was the leader of my group, and we were playing volleyball, and I was like, as I do now, like cheering for people, like really hyping us up. And then this guy who's a grade older than me comes over, and he was like, hi, I would like to know if you would like to go on a date with me. And I was like in the sand, like, what? I was like, really? Now? And anyway, so I guess it made it really awkward because I couldn't compute what was happening. He just walked away, and then him and his friend actually left the school event and didn't tell anyone, and there was like this whole thing. Yeah. And so but then I like heard the teacher in charge, because I was one of the students in charge, and he was like, oh, like no one has seen so and so and so and so. And I was like, they left. I saw them walk away. They went home.
My bad.
No, I didn't tell them it was my bad. Yeah, I don't know. But like really, other than that, because I knew my ex-husband since we were in our early 20s, and I've been dating for the last 4 years. Online dating wasn't a thing before. So that was a whole new world. It's not been great. Have you not listened to Ho Ho No? like I would say I've only ever like steadily dated like 2 people since then. And by steadily dated, I mean like max of 6 months before they fucked it up. Like not even, like I'm not even taking responsibility for those ones. That was not me. I was not the problem.
I mean, totally valid.
They're both in Ho Ho No, so yeah. Yeah. But like, I don't know.
Resonate though with that. I don't think I've ever been on like a first date, like especially, I don't know, with somebody that I didn't really like know well. Like I feel like everybody that I've dated has been like, we were like kind of friends, and then more than friends, and it was like, oh, I guess we're dating. Yeah, I guess we're dating. And then eventually they're like, do you want to like officially be my girlfriend? And it's like, okay. Like, and that's like how like my husband and I started like dating. Like we were hanging out like every day for literally like months, and I was like, should we like go out for dinner? And then I remember like I was like, I asked you, I'm paying. He's like, no, I'm paying. And I'm like,
yeah. Oh.
Okay, you're a keeper.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good way to do it. And to be honest, the reason I stopped dating in October, I deleted all my dating app profiles, whatever, because I had some psychic readings done. And same thing that a psychic told me the year before. They've been very consistent in saying that your like husband number 2 is like what I call him in my head and out loud now. Husband number 2 will be a non-romantic relationship first. And so I heard that, and I interpreted it as, you don't need to be on these dumb apps, because that's not how you're going to find him. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, never been happier, never been more at peace in my soul than not having to deal with people on dating apps. It's wild. And I've even like I've tried more than apps too, right? Like apps, sure, speed dating, did that a couple times. I liked it, didn't match with anyone. In fact, made friends with the girls, which is great.
Love that.
Um, yeah. Someone did ask me out on Instagram once because I made a reel about being a florist who never gets flowers, and then he sent me flowers. That was creepy or cute. Ho ho no.
It sounds kind
Um,
of cute. I don't know.
but like, I don't know. Like it was not that it was hard to find where I worked because I had it all linked because I had flowers on my thing, and if someone wanted to buy the flowers, they need to know where to go, right? So it wasn't
Yeah.
hard, but like I had to make my own bouquet because there was no
Oh,
one there.
oh, he ordered it from the shop that you worked at for
Yes,
you.
yes,
Okay, I don't know.
yeah,
Like slavery?
yes.
I don't
And then I
know.
was
Like
like,
it just
we
that's weird.
like to be honest, we don't even have the flowers I like because I like I'm just very particular. Like they're either not expensive, but they're less like less normal, I want to say, or
Okay.
um or they're just like really seasonal, so we wouldn't have them. Or if they
Okay.
like stock is a flower, it smells so good, Kristen. And it's like a tall flower, but they bruise really easily, so we don't get them in a lot because you have to be really careful with them. We didn't
Right.
have any. So I'm like, oh yay, rose and carnations for me. Thanks. Um,
Oh, fun.
it
I look at these every day.
kind of like kind gesture, sure. Um, and I'm not complaining, really.
Not
It just, I
really.
don't
I'm
know.
just
It's
still
like,
hung up on like it's at the place you work.
yeah,
Like
no,
I
like,
think it would have been different to or like it's just like it's so complicated because you work at a floral shop and I'm like would it be more weird if he ordered it from a different floral shop to your floral
that's a
shop?
great
But like
question. Probably,
to order you something that you have to make and then gift to yourself. I don't know.
yeah.
I
And
just like
carry
I
it
can't
home
get behind
myself.
either of it.
I don't
He
know.
should have sent you like
Anyway,
an edible arrangement. Like that would have been I
I
think
don't
more
think they
acceptable.
have that in the Valley, but we had Valley Eats. I like
Maybe.
cookies. I really like baked
I can
goods.
eat.
Yeah, can eat. Um, yeah. I mean, I guess like the guy from the gym I went on a date with, I asked him, so he didn't like he didn't even ask me. I had like not had to ask him, but I kind of in a joking way, this isn't a different ho ho no. But I was like, should we go for ice cream? Like, would that cheer you up? And he was like, oh my God, we're going on a date? And I was like, I guess.
What was his name? Tiny Tim?
Little blank.
Little blank?
Yeah, because so if so like me and my brothers, my friends, like we just nickname everyone. So his nickname had his real name in it because he was a very petite person.
Aww.
Like Lil Tim, but little different name.
Okay, got it.
Got it. Yeah. Um yeah, and then for last summer I wore a QR code on my back all summer that said, like, want to take me on a date, scan here. And fucking no, not a single person filled it out. So I don't know what to tell you.
But like that is fucking iconic. I don't know if we can
Thank
swear on
you.
our podcast. Are we doing swearing? I think
I've
yes.
ar- I've already sworn, I think, so it's fine.
Literally iconic.
Hmm.
And I think we should like recreate that idea, but like for the podcast.
Oh, listen to us yap.
Yeah, kind of. I think it'd be funny. I don't know if that's unsafe, like going to like an airport, like traveling is like what I envision it and having like the QR code. But like, is that like creepy then if people like randos can then like find you? I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of funny.
No, no, and I didn't even come up with this idea. Girls on TikTok were doing it before me, with the QR code on the back. And like, I know they work because I've seen videos of people scan them across a mall. Okay. Like, it's not even like you have to get close to scan them. I even tested my own,
Yeah.
still nothing. But you're right. Iconic women would come up to me and be like, I love your shirt. Does your QR code actually work? And I was like, yeah, it does. And then she'd be like, are you looking for men or women? And I was like, men.
You're like
Sorry. And
men,
she's
but
like,
like
it's
you could
okay.
put in an application at least.
I was like, I really like your sunglasses though. And she was like, I think you're really cool.
Aw. Like
Yeah,
it could be a friend
flattering.
application.
Yeah, and then like other women would say like, Hazel, you like have the guts to do the things that most of us only talk about doing. And that is how I turn the dreams into schemes. Okay?
Yes, I love it. I
Yes.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And I think this is a good segue
Yes.
into sharing that
Yes.
on a future episode, we are going to be interviewing men for Hazel to go on a date.
Correct.
We're going to have boyfriend applications, there's going to
Yeah.
be questionnaires, there's
Yeah.
going to be a live podcast interview, and then we'll send the two lovebirds out on a little date and see how does it end up. Does it become another ho ho no? Or like maybe
Or
we
do
have
we
to plan a
then,
wedding. I don't know.
right, do we podcast a wedding? That's a great question.
Yeah, like
You're thinking about
100%.
it.
Like
You're like, absolutely, we're doing that.
literally, I'm like, okay, project management. Okay, how are we facilitating this?
Yeah. It's basically like a reality
We
show
got
at
you.
that point. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah,
sure. But like
it's,
we need it. The world needs
I'm excited.
it.
Um, I know that whoever is a successful candidate will have to be very confident and secure in themselves. But maybe that's what's missing
Yes.
on dating apps, okay?
Interesting. And I
Yeah.
agree with your psychic that you're going to meet the man, the future husband, outside of a dating app because I think the type of man that's looking for a woman like you is not necessarily on dating apps.
Yeah. What am I like, Kristen?
Well, I did. I like how you said that you don't think you're intimidating because I wanted to
Oh,
circle back on that. And no,
yeah.
it's not that I think you're intimidating, but I definitely think you have a strong personality and it definitely takes a strong man to be like okay with that because it kind of reminds me of me and I honestly probably really haven't been called intimidating. I actually used to be like super super shy up until like I don't know 6 to 8 9 years ago. Um, but like my husband, for instance, because I have a strong personality too, but my husband, like, he can totally put up with it. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
affect him at all. Especially
Yeah.
like every week, every month, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is why. And it can be like a complete, like, left turn in all areas of life. And he just, like, smiles and nods, like, okay, cool. Like, what do you need? And, like, he's
Yeah.
just, like, so supportive. So you need that in your life too.
Yeah. I bet you like 5 different men have told me that I'm either a lot or too much in dating. I
Yeah.
like
And it's like, sorry, you're not enough.
too much for you or like I don't know, not enough for you. I think I'm just enough for someone. I just don't know who they are yet.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
Also,
it's good that you're not like, go ahead.
oh, I'm like, I don't know where these men think that it's okay to just blurt that out. They,
You know what? It's probably better that they do and not keep it inside because then you know right away of like, sorry, you're not the one for
yeah,
me then, on to the next.
yeah,
Because I think it's really good that you're not like forcing any relationships. And I know for women sometimes it can be challenging with like all these like artificial timelines that we put on ourselves.
right, right.
But the thing is, the person that you marry, as you know, is one of the most important decisions of your life. Like, you spend so much time with them, and they, not that they dictate so much about your life, but like indirectly they do. Like, you're a partnership, you make a decision together on where you're going to live, how much money you guys want to make, how much you're willing to work, the hobbies you have, where you vacation. Like, everything becomes a mutual agreement and decision, which sometimes means like sacrificing what you want to make like them happy and vice versa. But it's like if you're with the wrong person, like that can very quickly mean that you are very unhappy because one day you're going
Right.
to wake up and be like, what is this life around me? This isn't what I meant to create. How did I get here?
Yeah. My marriage was not like that. And spoiler alert, I am no longer married. So, you know,
Do you have
I
like a
think,
top like lesson that it taught you?
no. I think that I will say like getting married is very easy. Getting unmarried is really hard. To get married, you don't have to have a wedding. You just have to like sign a paper with some people there. To get unmarried,
Yeah.
It's like way more involved than that. And I think that's very, I don't know, it bothers me actually that it's so easy, especially for women, to get into something that maybe like is not the best environment for them or whatever the case may be. And then to get out is literally so difficult.
That's interesting, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You're so right. Like getting
Mm-hmm.
married was easy. It's signing a couple
Yeah.
pieces of paper. No one really
Yeah.
asks you anything. But
Yeah.
I don't know much about like the divorce process. I heard like it's a lot. And do you have to wait a certain amount of time before it's official, like a year or something,
Yeah. In
after you make it
Ontario, you have
official?
to
Like,
wait a year unless there's been, there's like there's some circumstances where you don't have to wait a year. But so for like for myself, we waited a year, and then the process of dividing everything and agreeing on things and like it's just bananas. And then even explaining to people like it's almost like when someone passes away, like to have to call your parents and be like, okay, I have something to tell you. I no longer live with my now ex-husband. I live alone in an apartment. And some people are like, oh my God, what happened? Are you okay? And other people go, are you sure? Are you sure there's nothing else you could have done?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Did you try counseling? Bitch, I was the only one who showed up to our fucking couples counseling, okay? So yes, I tried everything.
Damn.
But like, how about
Some
just like,
compassion.
right, yeah. And then the way that my marriage ended, actually, like, I couldn't necessarily, like, people didn't have any warning, right? So just all of a sudden, like, I remember running into, or just like wasn't widely known. So like, I remember like going to wherever on Christmas and someone saying like, oh, where's insert name here? And I would be like, I don't know. And then the look of confusion on her face, and I was like, oh, you don't know that we're separated. And then it was awkward. And then she was like, I think we should have a drink later. And I was like, okay.
Valid. But like also, yeah, then you just become their sense of like, I don't know, gossip and drama,
Yeah, and just
right? Where
like the
it's
new
like
news. Yeah. Like if
exactly
you
where it's like
didn't know me well enough for me to like personally call you or ask one of my close friends or family members to let you
yeah.
know, like maybe it's not your business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know. Funny stuff like that. No one's ever called me though and been like, oh, that's not true. One time, one of his friends was like texting me if I could like look after his dog because I used to look after many people's dogs when they went away, and I was like, not really possible anymore. And he'd be like,
Okay.
oh, why? And I'd be like, maybe you should ask. Insert name here.
So he wasn't broadly spreading the news, or they weren't that
I
close.
don't know, don't care.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, easy to get married, hard to get unmarried.
I saw a meme that said, describe your ex as a clothing brand.
Right.
And I thought it'd be hilarious to be like thrift
Thrift
store, which
store.
like realistically, like not really, but also like that's
Well,
hilarious.
nah. As a clothing brand for my ex-husband, I would have to get back to you. Putting it in my homework.
An
Now I
action
have to
item.
do it.
Oh, what is your deadline for said action item? Oh, that's so funny.
Are you a heartbreaker or you get your heart broken, Kristen? Or neither of the above?
What would you guess?
Heartbreaker, like me.
Yeah, I've
Do you
only
not care?
no, like, well, okay. I don't,
Not
but I'll
true.
tell you
I
why in
cared
two
one time.
things.
I cared one time
Okay.
ever. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it. So, I have always broken up with the other party every single time except for once. He broke up with me, but then within 2 weeks, he was like, let's get back together. And I was like, no. and I'm moving to a different city. So sorry. Honestly, he was awesome. Really, really great guy. Like, nothing bad to say. But, like, that was the only time. And I was, like, so, like, done. And this is why, like, it's, like, heartbreaker versus being heartbroken. And I don't know if this is a woman versus male thing, but I find that when I get to the point of breaking up with somebody, my mind is made up. I have already told you what I don't like time and time and time again without saying the words it's over. By the time I get to it's over and you start crying, being like, oh, no, I'm going to fix all these things. I'm going to do things differently. Like, dude, no. Like, I've already moved on. Like, my bag's already packed and I'm leaving. Like, you had your chance. I shouldn't have to threaten to break up with you for you to realize what you have and it could be gone. Because now it is. I'm sorry. Like, I remember my ex-boyfriend, like, we lived together, we had an apartment together, and he, like, dragged it on for weeks. And, like, he'd just be, like, standing there crying, and I was just like, I don't feel bad. Like, my mind is so far made up. Like, you're not changing my mind. Like, it's so done. It's so over. I'm sorry. Yeah. I literally can't change my mind back. I'm sorry. It's done. Do you want to get into your
Except
heartbreak?
for that one time.
Yeah.
My heartbreak? Sure. This is Ho Ho No Ghost Man Blank.
So it's like kind of recent?
No, it's like
okay.
3-4 years ago.
But you covered it in a Ho Ho No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like it's even like my brother was like, you know, the funniest part was that you kept going back together and trying. That was the funniest part of the whole story. So the first time we broke up, he ghosted me everywhere for like literally, I still don't know why. Like, just like I went to Snapchat. Like, I'm a Snapchatter, not in a weird way, but just like that's where my most unhinged content gets shared with my closest friends.
Okay, valid.
Yeah. So I went to Snapchat and it was just like person unavailable. And I was like, that's weird. Like, and then so I Googled what that means and it was like, you've been blocked. And I was like, that's weird. And tried to text him, wouldn't go through. Tried to call him, wouldn't go through. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And like, no notes, like he didn't like say just random ghost.
No. So in the days leading up to that, I don't know if I cover this in Hohono, but we had a date at his house. And before I went there, I was very clear. I was like, love a good bonfire, okay? Do not love that it's low effort on his part, but still, like, love a good bonfire, like a chill date once in a while is totally fine. But I was like, I don't like the logistics of me driving an hour, which also fine with me. Like, I like to drive. He was like, I could hear your music from your car like 5 blocks away. But I was like, if there's going to be alcohol, where am I sleeping? And he was like, you can stay here. And I was like, I'm not sleeping with you. And he was like, I have a guest bedroom, dummy. Like, it's okay. So possibly that was not okay. And he just said it was. Or
I have so many questions. Go ahead.
Okay. Or, so like we had that date and then the following weekend, he was like, I'm going to be in the valley. Like, I'm going to be in Pembroke. I'll like try and see if I can like pop by or we can do something, but I'm not really sure, like keeping options open. And then we got to like Sunday and I think, you know, as a normal girl was like kind of frustrated that I was like, do I have a yes or no? Like, am I going on a long run today or am I getting cute? Because I can't do both. Like in a timely fashion. And he, in my frustration, I said like, I really would have appreciated better if you could have made a decision before this weekend so I knew what the fuck was going on. And it also possible that he did not like how I delivered that sentiment to him. Not to say like I'm crazy, but like I don't know. I think justifiably justified, but not crazy, just like strong feelings. So also possible he didn't
And
like that.
not intimidating, strong
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. Also possible he didn't like that. So that was the first time he ghosted me, blocked me everywhere. And then like months
Okay.
later, okay, do we need to stop? Do you have questions about that?
You answered what I was going to ask, actually.
Okay.
So what I'm
Okay.
gathering is there was multiple ghosting / blocking and then reignited.
Yes. So, but because I'm petty, kind of. So, so like later in the summer, I knew that his friend, because he had told me like my friend in the area is getting married, blah blah blah. I knew that. So he parked his car across from my flower store, walked by to the place where you go pick up your suit. There's only one suit place in town, and I saw him, and I was like, that motherfucker. I'm gonna find him. So I get back on Bumble and I swipe, swipe, swipe. It less than 10 swipes. Kristen, there he is. Okay. And I was
That
like,
is so crafty. Damn.
watch. And then I was like, watch this. Match. And it goes, bam, you have a match. Do you know what it means when your screen goes bam? That means that they matched with you first.
Yeah. So he blocked you and then matched with
And
you.
then matches me. And so
Oh
now we're
my.
matched. And on Bumble, the girl has to make the first move. So I was like,
Right.
hey, what's going on? You in town? And he literally was like, I was like, oh no, she's talking to me. And he was like, oh yeah, this is so weird. Like there must be a glitch in the app. And I was like, there's no glitch in the app. You matched with me. He was like, no, I'm sure I didn't. And I was like, I'm not an idiot, but you are. And that part was in my head. Anyway, so we got to chatting and we went on another date, but I was also dating other people. And so by the time, like, like not dating other people, but I just was like dating whenever someone asked me, right? Like, I'm like, sure, we can do this, we can do that, whatever. So by the time he was like, hey, like, I really was thinking that, we should, like, talk more often or something. I was just
Frequently.
like,
Okay.
yeah, I was like, meh. So I was dating some other people, and actually, I had started, I was spending a lot of time with like my friend's brother. She set us up, and so by the time this guy, Ghostman Blank, was like, hey, like I think that we should like really not get more serious about this, but really like put in some more effort. I was like, sorry, someone else just asked me to be exclusive. Bye. Yeah. And then
The
years
plot
later,
thickens.
no, and then years later, like I was driving on
Oh my god.
years later, not years later, like within maybe 1 year later, I was driving on
Okay.
Highway 7 coming home from Smiths Falls, and this, can I say where he works or used to work?
I think that's loud.
Okay, let me remember where it is. You know those like gravel sand things on the side of the highway there?
Like the sand pit, gravel pit.
Yeah, but what's the construction company's called?
I think there's more than one. Doesn't Tomlinson do that?
Tomlinson. Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
See? Okay, so I'm driving home and this big Tomlinson truck like kind of comes up behind me really close, and I'm like, it's this fucker. I know it. I'm a little bit psychic, also douchebag driving. Okay, revs up, speeds up, comes beside me, and I'm not looking at him. Fuck that. So I'm driving, and he speeds in front around, and I'm singing too. Drives in straight around, and then gets off at the exit. What are you writing now? You're taking notes.
You just skimmed over the fact that you're psychic as if I don't have 1,000 more questions. So I'm like, okay, we'll put a pin in that and we will get back to it.
Okay, first of all, everyone's psychic. Okay, I just have a strong intuition and like ideas pop in my head and then they're just the truth. I don't know how it happens. Okay, so I'm like, it's this guy. Some people might say it's a lucky guess. No, like I know it. I'm like, it's this guy. He sends me an Instagram message later. He was like, hey, passed you on the highway. Like,
Didn't notice. Just kidding.
Looked like you were either having a passionate phone conversation or singing your head off. And I was like, I am not answering this. And then there was
Did he unblock you then to message you?
I'm not sure. So but here's the thing, like, I thought I had blocked him everywhere actually after the second ghosting, but
Right.
I have so many different accounts, like, because I had the virtual assistant and I had like my personal and like, anyway, so maybe I just didn't block him everywhere. Zero clue. But so he sent me a message, I ignored it. And then I forget how we got back in touch the fourth time, but it was right when I had just moved here. And he was like, "What's new with you?" And I was like, "Well, I'm Stittsville's newest resident." And he was like, "Oh my God, you're so much closer. We should go out again." And I was like, okay. Like, well, for me, I'm like, I have nothing else to do. I don't really know anyone here anymore because I lived in the valley for so long. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Guess what, Kristen? It never happened because he set a date with me and then forgot about it. And then when I was like, "Hey, what are we doing tonight?" He was like, What do you mean? What are we doing tonight?" And I was like, "You asked me to spend time with you on Wednesday, and today is Wednesday." And he was like, "No, I didn't." And I was like, "Scroll back. You for sure did." And then so he rescheduled it. And then on the rescheduled date, honestly, Kristen, I didn't even get cute. I was like, I don't know what the reason is going to be, but it's not happening. I can feel it. I'm psychic. His sister's dogs had run away an hour before, and he had to go and help her. Which, like, if that's true, obviously go and help your
Very
sister.
valid. Yeah.
But I'm not sure that I believe that story is true. And then I never heard from him again. So,
Damn.
yeah, that's a
Well,
long story.
you dodged a bullet there.
But the first time he ghosted me, I took it really, really hard because I didn't know what had happened. And I may
Yeah,
never
I
know.
think, well, and that's the thing when there's so much uncertainty where, like, things were
Yeah.
going well and, like, didn't even have the respect to have a conversation. Like, that's
Right.
hard. You don't get to even, like,
Right.
share your, like, point of
And
view.
I really liked him. And actually,
Yeah.
I don't even care if he sees this. And he's like, "Oh my God, Ghost Man Blank is me." Yep, it is.
Yeah. Stop fucking around with girls.
Yeah. Or make a podcast and tell your side of the story. I'll listen. Because I now want
Yeah.
answers. I actually don't care anymore. But I did for like a while. I was really like hurt, confused. Like I thought something was wrong with me. Fuck, nothing's wrong with me. I'm a delight.
100%.
Yeah. That's the only really time I got my heart broken. Every other time I was the breaker-upper. Like
I could see that.
I've broken up with guys, but like already had their shit packed up before I did it.
That's the best. There's no turning back. Like,
Yeah.
it's done. It's done.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have 6 months of your stuff in my apartment, but you want to go talk, so we'll talk.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Oh my God, that is so funny. That is
Yeah.
so funny. Okay, well, I think that's a pod.
That's a wrap.
And
Yeah.
next time, I think we should kick it off with you being psychic because I need to know everything.
Okay.
And that will be the perfect segue before we have
This
our
is true.
guest on for vision board and manifesting.
Yes.
Because same, but different, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Well, have a great
Okay.
day, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.